Okay, Freddie Walker here, an assistant strength and conditioning coach at the University of Pittsburgh. This is our facility. The main part, the heart of it, is we have 12 racks, UCS racks that go down the middle of the room. With that, we have our pull area where we have some rows and pull downs, some old hammer, row machines and pull machines. Over here behind us, we have our dumbbell area, 8 benches, and dumbbells all the way from, I think, 10 pounds all the way up to 150, just depending on what we need for that day and what the guys are feeling like using, but we have enough where we can kind of use most of it, if not all of it, and hit the entire team. Behind us over here, behind the racks, on the back side of it, we have like a neck and trap area, as well as some modified equipment for any guys who may have any nicks and bruises that we need to work around. Here at the University of Pittsburgh, sample day would be something like, it could go as far as the guys come in, we start in the racks with them, and we have like a main movement of the day, multi-joint movement like a squat or a bench, kind of like the staples of anybody's program really with barbell movements. We could stay in the rack for the rest of the day and do a pull-up and some other barbell exercises, but just kind of keep them in the racks and confined so we can kind of streamline things. Another sample day would be starting in the racks with the guys and then moving to like a station format where we have a dumbbell station, we have a pull station and a neck and trap station, moving them through the room in a station format where they kind of do one exercise there. Once they're done there with sets and reps, they rotate to the next one and just move through the room, trying to keep them moving a little bit if we want a little bit more metabolic work with their resistance training. Just depends on the emphasis of the day and our goals as far as the week goes, and then their training calendar and then their schedule. So really just depends on our goals for the day. Kind of sets up where we want to go with the training and where we're at in the week and the month. But
how
it's
many
based
guys
off
typically come in at one time, and how do you divide those groups up?
It depends. Some guys, sometimes we have guys come in, offense, defense, and we'll kind of flip those up with meetings. I know a lot of guys do that. Other places I've been, they've done that. Where one group, like an offensive group, will lift, defensive guys will meet, and then they'll flip it up, where the defensive guys will come to us, offensive guys will go, and they'll watch film and kind of meet on their own. We've done that format, but we also have guys come in different like skill, big skill, and big or power groups, and those are typically range from 28 to 32-ish, 36 guys depending on the schedule. There's 3 full-time strength coaches here with a GA, so 4 staff members. So we never work with more than like 8 to 12 guys at a time. So it gives us the ability to keep our eyes on them and watch them and monitor things that are going on. Because if you're not coaching it, you're letting it happen. Sometimes you do let good things happen. Don't get me wrong, but you want to make sure you have eyes on everybody and things are getting done in a supervised fashion.
Are the programs different for different position groups, or do you try to keep whatever the day is? Besides like somebody that's injured or who has some sort of special different need, do the position groups kind of have the same workouts?
Similar. The basis of everybody's program is pretty similar. We can keep it general in that sense, you know what I mean? They're here to play football. So we always keep that the emphasis. We're not weightlifting coaches, we're not power lifters. Our guys are not here on a weightlifting scholarship, they're on a football scholarship. So everything we do is always geared towards what they need for football. So with that sense, we can keep it general, we can keep it broad, and work on the qualities we want to work on to help them better their football skills and that nature. Now, we do have a mix of different athletes. We got guys, we have quarterbacks, they're throwing athletes. We have kickers and punters who are kicking athletes. Those guys may have a different modification to their workout depending on the time of the year. As they get closer to the season, they'll start throwing some more in the summertime on their own and things like that. So we'll kind of tailor that to take care of those guys and make sure they're managed properly and appropriately so they can make it to the season and be as healthy as possible as far as elbow and shoulder, things like that go. But for the most basis, everybody kind of goes through a similar template with different modifications here and there as needed.
I know that you and Coach Andrews aren't huge numbers guys. Like you said, you're not here to make them power lifters. How often do you test though, or and how do you use those tests? What kind of tests do you even do? Do you test 1 rep maxes very often, or not that often?
We don't test that often. It really depends on like our football coaching staff has a say in the program. I mean, as they should. They're kind of responsible for Saturdays and things like that. So we're here all on the same mission. I mean, we're all working for Saturdays. With that being said, they like to get a number on guys from time to time. So we will do some type of assessment and testing a few times throughout the year. We'll do similar stuff to the NFL Combine. Those guys kind of know and they're familiar with those tests. So we stick with those as far as like a 225 bench rep test. We'll do like the pro shuttle, and then we'll do like a 40-yard dash at some point maybe. We haven't put a big emphasis on that here. It's our first year here. We've kind of put more of an emphasis on like cultural things and really just getting the guys trained. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're preparing for Saturdays, and our coaches really get that, which is awesome. Like I said, we're all moving in the same direction. So they're not super big on testing. They like to see numbers from now and again just to see where the guys are. But it's not like a must.
It's not like you're doing 1 rep maxes every
No,
week.
No, we're not.
Just to write that down and put it on a board.
Dave Andrews is amazing at what he does. He's got a feel like none other with the kids. And he kind of can sense like what they need and where they're going and how much they have left in the tank, which is awesome. And I'm really glad I can learn that from him while I'm here, because it's an ebb and a flow. It's just a rhythm. It's knowing your kids. It's talking to your kids. Communication is huge. They'll tell you everything you need to know. They know how they feel. You know what I mean? So if a guy tells you, man, I'm kind of whooped on a Monday after a weekend of rest, and you kind of negate that, you're missing a big piece of the puzzle, because he's telling you right there, like, hey, I might be due for a back off. You know what I mean? I might be due for a deload type of week. And if you miss that, you know what I mean, you might be pushing too far and not need to. So just be able to communicate with your kids, and that's something he does amazing with. It kind of pushes them right to where they need to be, and then back them off when he needs to. Like I said, it's ebb and flow that he can read almost better than anybody I've ever seen. So,
well, let's maybe move over somewhere else, and we're going to talk a little bit about kind of starting the program out. So let's take a minute to do that.
Awesome.